That with the lawsuit, or how does that work?
Losers have the right to have the taxpayers pay for a three-judge panel we call the recount or the contest panel. That was the same, and that hasn't been changed. And again, the loser has the right to have the taxpayers pay for a final appeal to the Supreme Court as well. And that part of Minnesota law really dates back to the '62. We learned many actually the same.
In terms of the timing of this, because of the change in the challenge ballot statute, wouldn't we expect that it would be significantly shorter than the U.S. Senate recount?
Yes. We have both the experience of 2 recent statewide recounts. We have the change in the specific rule to stop frivolous challenges, which took a tremendous amount of our staff time. And we have built the systems necessary for the local tracking and all of those procedures. We expect to be able to start them all at the same time. And in the last one, we had to move them around. Some people had major surgeries planned and that kind of thing, but we do believe that our part of the process, the recount itself, will take significantly less time, and that's our intention. We won't know because we have to talk to our 87 county partners to get precise about this.
And could you briefly discuss the situation with absentee ballots this time around? Do we know the rejection rate at this point?
Counties and the cities who are connected to the counties with the absentee ballot process have until 24 hours after the close of polls, so till 8 o'clock tonight, to process all of those absentee ballots that came in late to make sure that they are not from an individual who has previously voted in the polling place. So we will not actually have absentee ballot numbers until after 8. In some cases, it'll be 8:30 just because of the timing of the line and that sort of thing. But once we have that, then we can provide you with the number of absentee ballots accepted and rejected, and we'll have that tomorrow morning at some point. I just don't know exactly when.
Sorry, a brief follow-up. Does that mean that the current tallies that we're seeing do not include all the absentee ballots, and do we know how many absentee ballots are yet uncounted?
We will know that information after the 24-hour period is up tonight, but for most counties, the absentee ballot process was completed with the exception of those that came in late in the process that needed to be held and double-checked against precinct rosters just to make sure that there was no, confusion or mix-up.
Any sense of how many of those there are?
I don't myself know. But after 8 o'clock tonight or 8 something, we'll have that information.
Clarifying the law change that gives you a little bit more clarity about looking at what are frivolous and non-frivolous. You mentioned identifying marks.
Yeah.
That are clearly.
You have to have written your name or an ID number, that kind of thing.
Is there another 1 or 2 examples? Are there more examples, or is that it?
Gary, do you want to speak to
the frivolous challenge?
The frivolous challenge specifically?
Right. Yeah, just,
sure.
Law change that give you more guidance now.
Right. So, there was a lot of, any of this.
Say who you are.
Gary Poser, the state elections director. So there were a lot of challenges made for stray marks. Either there was a line drawn someplace else on the ballot. There was some red type of a mark, or was there nail polish, or what that might be. That those were challenged as frivolous challenges. The new rule basically says a challenge for an identifying mark is frivolous unless it's for a signature on the ballot, an identifying mark on the ballot, or a name written completely outside of a write-in area on the ballot. And those are really the only challenges that are for identifying marks. Anything else challenged as an identifying mark is a frivolous challenge.
And
okay.
Who determines that when the recount is happening?
Right, so that'll be the recount official in each of the locations would be in charge of saying, this is a frivolous challenge. It's not for one of the reasons for the identifying mark. And then if I could just go back a little bit to Rachel's question on the absentees, just want to make sure that you know that ballots coming in late mean they still came late in the process on Tuesday. They didn't come in after Tuesday. And just because the counties then have finished up at 8 o'clock tonight doesn't mean they've put it into our system that we can run that and actually know that they've put everything in the system. So, we still need some time to make sure that all of that occurs.
Judging from past precedents, how many of those
Well, yeah, past precedents. Everything was done in the polling places, and they were done on election night. With the new law, you know, we have the canvas boards, and because of that, they have to wait for the rosters to come back into the polling place. So there really is no past precedents to make any judgment on that.
What was the voter turnout as far as?
We think we will go over 2.1 million. We still have 100 precincts out. A couple of them are pretty large precincts, and a couple are from counties where we're still waiting for those numbers. But if we're over 2.1 million, we'll be in the 56 to 57%, but we really won't know until the canvassing process is done. We hope to get those last 100 precincts in today, so we will have the start of unofficial numbers, but they will always remain unofficial until the canvassing process is completed.
Secretary Ritchie, I wonder if you could clarify something for me on the new law, the fact that a party or a candidate can ask that 3 precincts be counted. Is that at their expense still if that goes through, or is that at the state's expense?
I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to, but under Minnesota law, we have a post-election review. In every county, there's a minimum of 3, and I think in the biggest county up to 8, where we review to make sure the machines work properly. But we do allow candidates who are outside of the canvassed margin to request partial or whole recounts, and this has happened at least on 1 occasion. Thank you very much. Thank you again.
I got one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Say you get the result and it's outside of the, half of 1%, and you want to challenge that. You said the candidate has a right to the taxpayer fund to challenge it.
Under 0.5%.
Yeah, no, but if it's over 0.5%,
Then they will pay for, well, so the 2 different questions. Any candidate at any time can request a recount and pay for it if it's above 0.5%.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you, everybody.
Tell us. Yeah. Security killer. But they're not required to report that.
No, they report to us
Just their number.
their best audited number on the 23rd.
Well, their canvas is a public meeting.
Yeah.
87 of them.
We want to go ahead.
Right,
So
but
you're
the
saying-
peer report is different. I mean, the post-election review is different than the canvas.
The numbers will continue to change into the evening tonight.
Yeah, we hope to get the 100 done by 5
Okay, by 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then you have the absentee
tonight, tomorrow morning.
comparison, hopefully by
Yeah,
8.
well, they have to have them, you know, they have until, I think 8, unless their line was long, and they have until whenever that is, but like 8:30.
So they're, okay. And then just on yesterday, the election integrity folks, the poll watchers, the voter challengers, was that overall disruptive, or do you have
Pretty calm, really calm. We were very, very pleased. It was a calm day.
I think
It was a
we're
good day.
able to
Do you know when we might see the
know where the
absentee
changes were
numbers?
made, and so
Will we get those numbers tonight?
Well, the counties, when they are completely done,
which
will
could
go
then
in and
allow you to call
complete, you know,
So-
change, they'll up their numbers. And so, how exhausted are they? You know, we don't know.
Okay.
So, but soon.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Buell yet?
Are you going to go visit Buell and like talk to them?
Secretary Ritchie, I'm
Yeah,
so sorry we're
yeah,
late.
yeah.
You can just give me the kind of the 1-minute synopsis of what you announced here at the press conference.
So Minnesota's procedure is that the counties canvass the results and go through and double check every single number. They then determine their county numbers. They report to the state canvassing board on the 23rd of November. If races that go beyond a county border are within 0.5%, that triggers a taxpayer-paid hand recount. Candidates can waive that through a procedure, but then we would proceed, if any meet that class qualification, we would proceed the following week.
And of course, many of our viewers are interested, if there is a hand recount, is that open to the public? Would cameras be able to be allowed at those recounts so people can witness that?
It will be largely as people observed the last one. It'll be essentially the same. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much.